Hi guys, I just wanted to quickly reiterate some stuff I said about 11.5 on George Bush's eyebrows here. George Bush, we believe, represents Donald Trump as well in this video. It appears that there's a figure here lying down on his back. Here's the head, the chest and the body, and the leg with the knee bent here. And I think that's Donald Trump lying on his back because he's been shot, as I've said in previous interpretations. On the other eyebrow, we appear to have the number 5 and possibly the letter N. And that's obviously today, November 5th. So keep an eye out for something happening to Donald Trump. Looking for corresponding information to back up that interpretation is what I do. I think that's represented in the hangman, possibly with the XX being 10-10. Take away the zeros, you're left with 1-1, and the tongue being V for 5, 11-5. And the shark over here, the mouth, as I've said, makes up the number 2. Let me zoom in. The mouth makes up the number 2, and just down here, if you follow the mouse line, you've got the number 2 again, and from the bottom of the tail going up to the fin is the number 3. So 2, separate the big 2 into 2 ones, you've got 11, and 2 and 3 together, you've got 5. So another reference to 11.5, and something to do with sharks, or possibly connection with a gun, as behind the shark in that smudgy chalk, I believe there's the outline of a gun pointing towards the back of the president's head, who is George Bush in this is George Bush in this video, but represents Donald Trump as well. And then you have this scene here. Again, I think this represents Donald Trump, a rich dead guy, and another reference to 5 with the 5 explosions in the background, looking like fireworks, November 5th, fireworks night. And actually, I think I was going to point. Oh yeah, on the back of the head, as I pointed out before, I think it says Jesus, the Spanish version. This was an interpretation I had for February 14th, Valentine's Day. I thought Donald Trump was going to get shot on that day by someone with a connection to the name Jesus. It turned out to be slightly different, but I think the interpretation for that still stands. Otherwise, J.K. Bugout's interpretation of the name Jose could also be used. Even though that was a hurricane last year, I think that may have connections to a person and Donald Trump's shooting, as we have a lot of, obviously, issues around the caravan, immigration. There's still issues around DACA, so there's, every potential for someone of Hispanic or Spanish heritage to be angry enough to do something to Donald Trump in response to everything that's going on. Obviously, we've got the talk of the blue wave, and now we're getting talk of the red wave. We've been getting that for a while, but obviously a lot more Republicans are saying red wave, red wave. We're seeing a lot of polls showing close races across the country. And what I think, if this interpretation does pan out, then obviously if Donald Trump is shot, that would basically galvanize his supporters, and other supporters, other people who weren't likely to vote for him may vote for him in that case. So the blue wave could turn red in that situation. That appears to be maybe connected to I don't know if I've got it up here. No, I haven't, but it appears to be connected to maybe a Futurama scene I've shown before, with the, I'm going to see if I can find it actually, with the US map pretty much proportioned in red, so nearly all Republican. And see if I can see it. Here it is. So this one here, let's wait for it to load. Come on, hurry up. Okay, I'm going to come back to it in a second. Let it finish loading in the background. Meanwhile, we've got this scene here. Now, we think that this character over here represents Donald Trump. There's a clear emphasis on the hair, and there's obviously the talk of Donald Trump and his hair and the hairpiece. Above his head, he's got the stag in the background, but all we can see here is the emphasis on the antlers of the stag. Now, I think that is connected to a stag crown, and a stag crown is used in the Game of Thrones. And recently, Donald Trump did a Game of Thrones style message to Iran saying sanctions are coming November 5th. And I think that that may be, connected to something happening on November 5th. Again, his hands are held in the shape of the letter M. On November 5th, today basically, Donald Trump is going to be in Missouri. So another, possible connection to the letter M, where it's located. Missouri has not a large Hispanic population, but they do have a Hispanic population, approximately just under 300,000. So, there's the possibility that someone connected to the name Jesus or Jose could decide to maybe try something. They may not be successful, it may not happen at all, but, there's some references there that look maybe suspicious. Missouri, this is its state symbol. What interests me is the Roman numerals down here. They interpret to 1820. I believe that's when Missouri, I don't know, received statehood or something, or became part of the United States and the Union. I didn't really research that part because what interested me is the rearranging of the numbers to 2018 and the adding of the numbers 1, 8, and 2 coming up to 11. So 11, 2018. Obviously, that could reference November 2018, which we're currently in, and a lot of references to 5, which, today is the day, and we're looking out for a lot of events happening, but one of the ones I think that may be pointed out is Donald Trump and the 5th of November, something happening there. And then obviously, as I've said, Donald Trump set himself up, or he's been set up to be like the linchpin or the supporting block in the Jenga tower. And, as soon as he's gone, even if it's for a short period of time, things could pretty much collapse because they just designed it to go that way. And the last one I want to talk about, kind of separate from Donald Trump, but in association with everything else going on, kind of like around November 5th, with the US and South Korea starting up the war games again, and it being fireworks night and International Tsunami Awareness Day, as well as various other things. The US and Japan are to stage the largest war games in the Pacific that they've ever held since the foundation of the exercises in 1986. There will be approximately 57,000 troops taking part, and that is, quite a large number. And you have to wonder if they're, being prepped for something else. As they're doing their drill, something occurs where they're needed, and obviously because they've already got everything up and running, they can respond in a much quicker time. We'll keep watch. I hope you could hear everything. You guys have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and may the Heavenly Father bless you.